Welcome to Epic Conversations. Thanks for joining us. I'm Diane, and we're here today with my special guest of honor and friend, Dr. Delron Shirley. Delron is his founder and president of Teach All Nations. He's traveled all around the world, and he's written 40 books. He also teaches at Charis Bible College. So I've asked him to share one of his books, which we will in a minute. And if you'd like to receive more uplifting videos, subscribe to this channel and follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So Delron, you are going to talk to us about, this is one of his books, So Send You. And this is an autobiography, right?
Yes.
Of your life and all of your missions. And we also want to comment on your outfit. You can share with us about your outfit and where it came from.
Okay, yeah, this is from India. And so you asked me that while we were making the different programs to kind of, I guess, highlight some of the different countries where we've done ministry. And so you'll see some outfits from Nepal and from the Philippines and Sri Lanka, different countries where we've done ministry over the years as the programs go forward. Anyway, yeah, but this book, So Send I You, is my autobiography. God has given me a really exciting life. I've had a great time. It's been a great journey. Going to a lot of different places around the world, doing a lot of different things, different phases. One of the aspects of my life was college ministry. I was a student at North Carolina State University during the days of the Jesus movement. And people were getting born again right and left. It was an amazing time. And I... because I had a good, solid Christian background, having grown up in a good, strong, Bible-believing church, the Lord put me there right at the time when so many people were coming out of drugs and different kinds of backgrounds like that, had no idea what the Bible was all about, but they knew that Jesus was their answer.
Amen.
And so I became a Bible teacher and started Bible clubs, Bible study groups on 22 different college campuses, traveled all over the country leading these Bible studies. And so, that was a very exciting time of life.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah. And then after then I went to seminary because the Lord spoke to me and he said that that was what I was to do with my life, was to be a Bible teacher. But he says you need a certified, accredited degree because of the level at which that he wanted to put me into. And so then I went to the seminary, and then after that became dean of a Bible college with Dr. Lester Sumrall, and served with him for 25 years. Well, 16 years with him, then he passed away, and then another 9 years with his sons in that ministry, administering and teaching and directing their Bible college. And then after that, then we moved to Colorado Springs, and I've been working with Andrew Womack, and then at the Charis Bible College. Then also had the opportunity to develop a discipleship program that's used by Every Home for Christ all around the world. And that gave me a lot of opportunities to go and to implement that discipleship program in Africa, in Asia, in South America, different places around the world. So it's been an exciting journey.
Yes, it has been exciting. And that's where I met you.
Yes,
John
at Charis.
and I, my husband John, we met at Charis Bible College. And we were in the missions department.
Yes.
And we went on a trip with you to Belize,
yes.
And we had it was wonderful. And I saw you in action on the field. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, enduring hardships. Remember the boat we went on? I thought it was going to be like a cruise boat. No, it wasn't. No. It was one of those boats. Yeah. And then there was some little things that really can be challenging to your flesh, but you dirt fast.
Yes.
It was awesome to watch you in action.
We had some great experiences there in Belize.
Yeah, we
I
did.
remember one day we went out witnessing, and people were getting born again, and they were going and finding their friends and bringing them to us. You remember?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That is an exciting life, to travel all over the world. I mean, that's just awesome.
Yeah. But on this particular book, the cover is really interesting because this world globe
Mhm.
belonged to my mother, who
Oh.
never went outside of the United States except one time. We were in Texas, and we were able to drive across the border into Mexico. And we didn't drive. We hired a taxi
Mhm.
that took us across the bridge into Mexico, and then drove around for like an hour, and then came back. So about probably an hour of her entire life was all that she was ever outside the U.S. But the biggest present that she ever wanted as a child
Mhm.
was a world globe.
Oh.
And so I think she was in like the 4th grade when her parents were able to afford to buy her this world globe. And so that was something was in her heart.
Mhm.
The world was in her heart, even though she never had the opportunity to go there. And she passed that on to me and gave me the opportunity to travel the world.
The next generation.
Yes.
That's you. So what else do you talk about in your book?
Oh, well, I share a lot of the miracle stories of things that happen around the world.
Wow.
We've had
Miracles. Mhm.
wonderful opportunity to work for 25 years in Nepal. Not resident in Nepal for 25 years, but going at least once a year, every year for over 25 years. And we went there when the country was first granted religious freedom. Before 1990, Christianity was totally illegal in the country. And the king granted the people a new constitution in 1990, gave them freedom of religion as one of the elements of it. That has been revoked, by the way, by now. And now the very strong pro-Hindu government is in control. Christianity is being persecuted. And some of our sources inside the country say even worse than it was before 1990. But God gave us the opportunity to get in as soon as the doors were open. We went in and started training and raising up a generation of Christian leaders, so that now, when it's very difficult for Westerners to get in to do Christian ministry, I mean, Westerners can still go as tourists. They have a joke in Nepal. They say, we have 3 religions. We have Hinduism, Buddhism, and tourism. So they still welcome tourists, but people that they know are going to be doing Christian activity are very strongly restricted at this point. But at any rate, we were able to work in the country for 25 years, raise up a generation of Christian leaders who are strong and resilient, even in the face of the current persecution. So
And that's important.
yes.
That is really important, because where there's light, there is no darkness. So even though they may have prohibited Christianity, you can't take it out of their hearts.
That's right.
It's in there,
Mhm.
and they will prevail.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
For us who don't really have a full geography, where's Nepal?
It's just north of India, and it's where Mount Everest is, the highest mountain in the world.
Okay, so for those of you who didn't know, beside me.
Surely you knew where Nepal was. Yeah. Well, I'll bring you one of my Nepali soups on one of our upcoming trips, upcoming interviews. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
So any other miracles you wanted to share from?
You know, we have seen tremendous miracles, healing miracles.
Can you give us an example of one?
Well, I was going to share more in the area of demonic control.
Okay.
But we have seen, especially in some of these foreign countries, situations where that people under demonic control would talk to us in English, and their voices would come out of their mouths and say, I'm not coming out, and you're not gonna have control over me, and they would speak to us and talk to us in full sentences, full paragraphs in English. Once we would break that demonic spirit off that person, the person would not be able to speak English. Because it wasn't the person that was talking, it was the demon that was talking through them.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yes. So we've seen a lot of very unusual things happen in that kind of arena. Yeah.
That can be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you know that you have authority and you have power over these demonic forces.
Yes.
So that can be exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. But and you asked about healing. I'll have to share one story. I was in an accident and broke my shoulder blade to where that I could not move my arm. It was totally incapacitated. It was just hanging like loose off of my shoulder.
Wow.
And I couldn't move it at all. The interesting thing was that we were leaving in 2 weeks to go to Europe, 3 countries in Europe. And, traveling around, moving your clothes, your suitcase, whatever, and no arm, how are you going to do that,
Wow.
And I don't know if you would ever remember a man by the name of R.W. Shambach.
Yes.
He was a great healing evangelist. He's passed away now. But I knew him, and so I went to him, and I said, Brother Shambach, I'm leaving in a week or so to go to Europe, and my arm is just absolutely useless. And so I asked him to pray, and he took my hand, and he was moving it very gently. And I said, that's as far as you can move it, because at that point, it's excruciating pain because it's all broken, And I said, don't move it any further than that. This is as far as it can go. And he's looking me straight in the eye, and he says, now, are you sure that that's as much as you can move your arm? I said, oh, absolutely. If you move it any further than that, it's going to kill me. Next thing I know, he grabbed my arm and he lifted it straight up in the air, and I was instantly healed. Went to Europe, took my suitcase, got on and off we used the Eurail to go from place to place. And so getting on and off the train, taking my baggage, no problem.
That's a miracle.
Absolutely.
Praise God. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you. Delron has many more things to share, and I'll have all the information about his website in the upload. And in the meantime, till next time, have an epic day in the Lord.